Welcome back to the TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Juicy Z. Kendra G finally has realized that the Godfather was right this whole time. Finally, right? I mean, she's already like broken and cracked a little bit throughout the years, saying some of these things, but now she's fully understands modern women are delusional. That they truly are. So please subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Joseph, YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
So guys, it's happened the day we all knew was coming. The sisterhood has turned on Kendra G. Guys, this video is titled, there's actually a couple of titles here. First video by Kendra G, which is what I'm gonna play right now, is titled, What I Learned from Hosting a Dating Show for the Last 3 years. Here's the interesting thing about life, guys, is life teaches us all a lesson eventually. Reality eventually takes us on a date, and we all have to eventually visit the coffee shop. And on this particular day, Kendra G realized that this whole time she's been getting caffeinated, and she was way too hyped and turned up for her audience. So what's interesting about the video I'm going to play right now is it has its own title alongside the other one. It reads, Sisterhood is mad at Kendra G. Listen to how she uses the same info that KS tried to explain to her 2 years ago. They did this really interesting mashup with KS right next to her. Kendra G says, women are mad at me because all they want are tall, dark, and handsome men, successful, 6 figures, whatever, with big, gigantic joysticks. Yes, I'm not making that up. Don't believe me? Check it out for yourself. Let's get it.
Ooh, child, some women are mad at me because I said that women keep focusing on tall, dark, and handsome with a big 6 figures, and they're passing up the good guy, the nice guy that wants to take you out. Why should we have to settle, Kendra? We should have somebody on our level. Well, let me share with you guys some data. Information that I can confirm from hosting a dating show for the last 3 years.
Guys, I want you to get your notebooks, pen, something, pull your phone out, take notes, because she's about to inform us of some mind-blowing data, and chances are you've never heard this before in your life.
Okay, so every night I might get 100 single women.
Really? Guys, I'm done. I know, man. I know a few of you guys are like, please, Chisha, not one of these videos. Take it seriously. I can't.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Who are looking for a relationship. Most of these women want committed relationships. Out of those 100 women, I may get 10 men. So let's just start right there. If I have 100 single women and 10 men,
we should be writing this down. Let me just, hold on, right? Just gotta follow, make sure I'm doing my part here, leading by example. Let's keep watching.
Automatically, every woman is not going to get a man.
You're right.
Just from that right there, okay? There's not enough.
Right.
Now, out of the 100 women, let's say out of those 10 men, there's only really 2 men that the 100 women really want to date. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. So now we have 100 women with 2 men. Right there, every woman is not going to get a man.
Hey, but those men are going to get hella cheeks. Yo. So what you're telling us is that the top percent men who build themselves into something are out here.
What?
That's great news. Sounds good to me, guys. Sucks for the chicks that she's talking about, though.
No.
Now, this man is living in heaven. It's 2 men and 100 women want to date him. What is he going to do?
Bust cheeks.
Yep.
We're not going to get through this shit. It's too long. I can't do this.
He's going to pick and choose because he can.
Right.
He has the options to do so. Now let's move on to the #1 demographic on my show, which happens to be single moms.
What? Really?
Single moms.
Ooh, I did not know that was her #1 demographic, but it kind of makes sense that these moms are desperate to want to find a man.
They're now looking for a different type of guy than their child's father. Because a lot of women, they usually focus on the outward characteristics. Right. He was tall, he was attractive, he had swag, he had money, I had a baby by him. Now they're realizing the outward characteristics do not matter. It's the inward characteristics that matter most when it comes to a relationship.
After the kids and the single mother, now, okay, I got you. Now they want the guy with the inward. Before, they were letting Pookie have their way with them and reproducing with that man. Wow. Guys, mind-blowing stuff, man.
So now the single moms are more focusing on the inner characteristics.
Right.
And they're looking for this guy, the good guy, the nice guy, who may not have all the outwardly attributes, but now they realize that's what's most important because they have children and they want someone that's going to be in the home and help them raise their kids by the guy that had the big piece and doesn't want to be in a relationship, who would never want to be in a relationship, if they were to be honest. Now let's move on to the other category of women that are on my show. The women like myself. I like to call us the boss chicks.
Okay.
We got our own money.
That's a new one, guys. Boss chicks. Where the have we heard that before?
I wonder.
We can pay for every single thing ourselves. So we just want a man that's our equal or higher, right? That is the goal. Well, here is the difference. The man that is our equal or higher has a lot of options.
Okay. Yes,
right?
he does.
And he just wants something that's going to fit within his life.
All right.
Can you fit within my life? Because I don't mind paying all the bills because I got the money to pay all the bills, period. This man just wants a woman that's going to fit within his life. Are you available? Do you bring him peace of mind? Do you want to cook for him? Can you bear his children? Whatever is important to him, that's what he's going to be seeking.
Right.
And the unfortunate reality, ladies, is he has a lot more options
What?
to choose from because there's a lot of women
For them, right? For him, he's having a blast. Oh, yeah.
that want to be married and settle down and be in a relationship. Now, let's talk about where your power does lie.
Okay.
Women. You have
Right.
so,
Sounds like that's it. Guys, thank you so much for checking out. No, just messing with this. Keep listening. That's all they got.
you are
Oh my
powerful,
God.
but you are misusing your. You give it away all the time. You say you want to be a wife, but you give it out freely. That's what makes it special. Why should Ray Ray jump to the equation and become Prince Charming when you let Pookie have the chicken? Okay? You are mismanaging your power, which is your. And your only go to the man that wants the things that you desire.
Wow. Groundbreaking.
If you want a relationship, I don't care if he's tall, dark.
Only sleep with men that you really want instead of just sleeping with random men? Ah, the audacity, Kendra. The audacity.
Handsome, and has 6 figures. He should not get any of your time because he's not an option. He's not an option for what you desire.
Right.
Now, I hear you ladies because you'll say, well, Kendra, yeah, there's a lot of there, but there's not a lot of me. I'm different. And you know what, girlfriend, I agree with that. I do agree that every woman.
So you do agree with that? That the only power you said modern women have is between their legs and they're somehow different. Guys, I want you to notice she will not say submission, cooperation, femininity, learning to cook, all the things that we know are what make the true difference. She's not going to say that. Here's where the advice gets ridiculous. Their power lies between their legs.
Yep.
Yeah, that's part of it, but you got to bring more than that, right? What are you looking at? What's your weight? What's your physical attributes? And this is why this chick clashed with KS. But maybe she's caffeinated right now. Maybe she sees the light. Maybe she's drinking the coffee. Are you guys still with me? Let's keep listening.
Is not equal, and some women, just like men, weigh differently. But guess what? You're not acting different. Okay? You're not acting different.
Nope.
You're acting like every woman. So when you come and tell the guy what you're about, I only have sex when I'm in relationships. And then after a month, he didn't give you a relationship, and you still had sex with him, Your words are now null and void. He now knows, okay, I heard what she said, but her actions did not align with her words. And you think, well,
What? Their words don't align with their actions? The ridiculousness.
Kendra, I made him wait a month. Girl, you made him wait a month for you. During that month, while you're making him wait, he was just getting his shit off with some other girl.
Damn right.
Okay? You're not running the game.
So my only question here is, guys, F it. I'm going to pause the shit out of this video. I don't care. So my only question here now is, what happens after the sex? If a woman is only using sex, and by the way, I agree with this, you should make the guy wait. Not too long. Give the man a date so that he can assess and say, nah, sorry, not doing it. But I agree with not sleeping with a bunch of men out here. It doesn't work well for the woman long term. Now, what I don't agree with is saying, I'm holding off until we're married. Ridiculous, because you've got a bunch of kids around you. We know that you gave it free in the streets. But listen, typically women who use what's between their legs and only what's between their legs as the main negotiation tool, and that's the only thing they have as leverage, means that once people get to experience that, right, if she gives that, he leaves. Now, that also has to do with how men bond to women differently from women. I have a video about that I just released. But apart from all that, you should have other attributes on top of this that would help that man stick around. Because eventually that sex is going to get boring. Let's keep listening.
If you do not stand by your words, then you become like every other woman. So yes, ladies, this is what I have learned from hosting a dating show for the last 3 years. So I know it's all about Kendra telling me to settle. I'm not telling you to settle. I'm telling you to focus on the man that deserves you. And that should be based on character more than characteristics, outwardly characteristics. And time and age will teach you that. And let's break down settling for a second, because I hear that more than anything. Kendra, why should I have to settle? I should get the man that I deserve. I actually agree with you, girlfriend. You should get the man that you deserve, but I think you're focusing on the wrong characteristics when it comes to settling. I think a lot of y'all really haven't dated the man you described. I've dated this man. I dated the tall, dark, very wealthy man, and in those moments, I was settling. I was settling for him dating other women with me knowing about it. I was settling with him mistreating me and accepting it. I was settling that he would not agree to a committed relationship, and that's what I really wanted. I was actually settling then.
They have dated this guy. They have dated these guys, man. These guys are out here just having a field day out here with these women who are delusionally thinking that they're going to wife him up. The same way Kendra G just admitted he didn't want to commit to me, but he did take me to Pound Town.
No, I'll have a tea, actually.
Right? And they get confused because, number one, women can't separate sex and love. It's tough. Yeah. And also, they think that qualification for sex means a potential for a serious relationship. Crucial mistake. But will they listen? Probably not. Let's keep listening.
I don't think it's settling when you're with a guy who's going to treat you nice, who's going to be there and wants to build a life and a home with you, who's going to be there to help you raise the kids that you bear by him. But he might not be tall and he might not be rich. Yep. Or he could be, right? But that doesn't matter because it's the characteristics inside. Change up what you are settling for, okay? Change up what you think settling means and focus on what you really deserve and what you really should be focusing on.
Man, they don't care about none of that.
Nope.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Can't make this shit up. Cannot make this shit up. Cannot make this shit up. Shout out to KS there. I'm going to check out a few of these comments, man. And as you guys would expect, people didn't like what she had to say. When I say people, I'm talking about the modern feminist women who don't need a man and aren't ready to settle. The same women who heard the same talking points from KS. They're now pissed that, wait, after 3 years, she's coming to the same conclusion. Like this first comment that says, when Kevin Samuel said it, the women hated him. LOL. Another guy added, because this conversation turned into a thread, and he says, you know, it's about the messenger, not the message with a lot of people. And while that may be true sometimes.
Somewhat, yeah.
Sometimes there's a message that you need to hear that may be drastic and life-changing, and it may come from somebody, I've experienced this myself, who you maybe didn't think was that smart, or who you might have disagreed with, or it just may not sound right. But because you're emotionally turned off by that person, then you just don't want to hear anything else they have to say because you're leading with emotion. So another woman actually responded back and added to the thread and said, this basically sums up what Kevin Samuel said. Here's a woman who's like, yeah, these are the same talking points. And of course, man, like most people out here who don't understand that relationships operate best when women embrace who they truly are and men embrace who they truly are. But guys, I'll tell you what happened. Kendra G was one of those people who said, well, most of his message is right, but maybe if I say it differently, they will listen.
Nicer.
If I say it nicer, they will listen. If I say it a lot softer, they will listen. They aren't hearing nobody who's out here drunk on coffee, which is reality and truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't like that coffee. Put that coffee down. Another comment here says, talk to the men about settling. Here we go. All right, first one, because they don't settle, okay? You cannot force chemistry or attraction. You get the same chick, do a quick background search. More likely than not, she will fit into that description Kendra G was talking about.
Yep.
Has kids, hella debt, on the decline of her looks physically, and wants a high value, high earning man to take care of her kids and support her without fail, guys. Without fail. And people, these conversations are uncomfortable, but that's the reality of the dating market today. And while she may say, oh, guys don't settle, she's not talking about most guys. She's talking about the men who she believes she's attracted to. And why don't they? Because they have options of women readily there to marry them. Understand these women can get married with a man. It's not about that. It's about the type of man every last one of them believes they deserve.
Yep.
That's where the delusion starts. So,
Of course it starts there, because you don't deserve anything. Nobody deserves anything. I mean, if anything, all you deserve is air, in your lungs, maybe. Nobody is born to deserve a relationship. Nobody's born to deserve a good man, a good woman. No, you got to earn those things. Men have to earn these things. Women have to earn them too. Shocker. Nobody deserves money. Nobody deserves a rich person. Nobody deserves to be a millionaire. You think all these millionaires are just like, they're like, I deserve this. I can't wait to fucking be rich. No, they worked their asses off and earned most of it. I mean, there's some people that get lucky here and there, but most people have to earn what they have and what they want.
So somebody responded back to that and said, 304, look at your profile pic. Oh, man. Another comment here says, these are all just red pill talking points. So here's a woman who's like, that sounds familiar. Red pill talking points. Kendra G, how dare you? She says, you even threw in Pookie and Ray Ray. So in 3 years, she says, you only learned what's wrong with the women. Well, number one, I think she mostly talks to women. And if you're going to pick a gender who's the most delusional right now when it comes to dating, it's the women.
Yep.
It's the women who've been affected by modern feminism. That's the truth. Now, guys, that's not to say that men aren't also delusional. There are a lot of guys out here who put themselves in the category of like top percent man, most attractive, etc. And they're really not doing shit with themselves.
Yep.
But there's more men who are more realistic and underestimate their sexual market value. As in, most guys don't understand that, like, hey, you can actually do better than the wife you're with who's giving you a headache. Guys end up realizing that a lot of times after a divorce,
Yep.
as horrible and horrifying as that situation usually may be. Listen, guys, I'm not trying to say all men are perfect. Yes, some men don't understand how this thing works either, but most men are far less delusional and ready to work things out with a woman if she's willing to meet him halfway. But a lot of these chicks are no.
Nowadays, not so much. A lot of these men know what they can get in other countries. Passport bros. They see the other men that are traveling, getting wonderful wives, wives that take care of them, wives that do the things that traditionally women did for men. Help them build, help take care of the kids, don't give them a headache. They don't want to teach or have to wait for the women in the West to wake up or whatever they think it's going to ever happen to these women, which we probably will never happen, tell the truth. You know, they've already put in so much time and effort into the dating market. They're not willing to put any more into the Western dating market. They just want an easier life, a more, substantial life than just, taking women out to dinner and getting, finessed.
Nope. I won't settle for anything anywhere, regardless of where I'm at. Here's another comment from another woman that says, I do think women should open themselves up to other race of men, because let's be real, there isn't a lot of black men to choose from. That's not true. Black men have no problem seeking women who fits into their life outside of their own. Black women should do the same. Step out of your comfort zone of preferences, ladies. Try all men and see what happens. I don't know what it is about some people out here who think that this modern woman problem is specifically only in the black community. Like,
right.
Are you guys just ignoring the other races of men who also don't want to deal with strong, independent, don't need no man women? I'm almost at a loss of words when I hear women say, well, ladies, if you are a boss babe, whatever, go date outside of your race. They don't want to deal with that shit either.
Nope.
Even though we can argue that the damage as far as single motherhood and like feminism is stronger within the black community, this is not just a black community problem. It's a Western women problem. It's a modern minded feminist woman problem. And while they are women who are waking up to this and changing their lives for the better, they exist. They exist. The majority of women out here are asleep and will most likely, in the words of KS, buy a dog and die alone. This is why men are looking to date elsewhere, like passport bros and things like that. By the way, every time I bring up how I got engaged in Zambia, people always think that I am a passport bro because I support a lot of guys who want to go overseas. One thing I say real quick is you want to be careful to not bring those chicks back here because they will force feed them tea and ruin their minds. It messes up the circuits in the head. But I didn't do that, right? My woman is American, but she's well integrated into my culture, and she's been to Zambia, etc. I always have to say that for some reason because people assume that I went over there to find a wife, right? And it's up to you. I don't tell guys what to do out here with this situation. It's the Wild West, bro. You're a man. I know people want me to say, tell men to get married. That's what God in the Bible says. No, I stopped doing all that shit when I realized, because there was a time when I thought, well, why wouldn't a man get married? Well, maybe because he just doesn't want to deal with this. This right here, this type of confusion, everything we talk about on this channel, there are men who are just like, nah, they don't have the patience. I don't blame him. The other thing is maybe he already has been divorced. How many marriages should a man go through before he taps out and says, F it, I don't want to go through that pain again? And it is pain, and most times more pain for the man. Or he may decide, to do the prenup thing. I encourage you, if marriage is something you still value because you want a family and you want to provide him a 2-parent household, make sure you protect yourself. Do something to protect yourself. Some guys are just going to do the...
I 100% agree with Sushi. I don't push you guys to really do anything. I suggest passport bros. I tell you guys I want to marry, and I see value in the marriage system. Not the American Western marriage system, but just like the institution itself, how to raise kids, how to build good wealth, and just like it creates a good amount of happiness that you cannot create anywhere else. So, but I also understand not every man wants to deal with it. I've dealt with it once already, got burned pretty hard, 12 years. I'm still willing to give it a try. It wasn't all bad 12 years. You know what I mean? Like, it gave me a lot of life lessons. It gave me some perspective in life too. You know, now I chose an Americanized woman. Now my family is starting to vet and pick Cambodian women that come from strong pedigrees, that want to marry into my pedigree. Pedigree is such a big deal in my culture. Like, my aunt told me, doesn't matter if you're rich or handsome or tall or whatever it is, if you come from a shit pedigree, people still don't want to marry you if that's what they care about. And I happen to come from a pretty strong pedigree. So most other families actually want to marry into my family. And doesn't matter that I'm not like was divorced or anything like that. They don't care. They want to be in the pedigree. So they're willing to work and do the work and do the things that shows that they're good, mates.
Cohabitation things. Some guys are going to do the passport bro thing. I know you want me to tell men what to do. There's a lot of guys out here, but I'm not. Every man is man enough. You are a man. You decide what you're going to do in this mess.
That you do.
Take the consequences to the chin as a man. So settle because there's a shortage of good men. No, sir. Single me with the praying hands emoji, right? Shortage of good men. That's what they're telling themselves so they can sleep at night.
Yep.
Now the comment here says, some of us really need to look deep within and find what qualities are important to us. I can't picture myself spending the rest of my life with a man who I don't trust, who doesn't warm my heart, feels excited about coming home to me, and we spend hours laughing, telling each other stories. I'm at peace with my king probably being short. Look at this. There are women out here who are having realistic standards. You're not having, there are 12% of men who are over 6 foot, right? If I remember correctly. Let me see. Okay, my bad. 14.5, right? 14.5 of men who are 6 feet and over. And so women will have that height qualification of he must be at least 6 foot. And on top of that, they will add top percent expectation for earnings. And then they will call being okay dating somebody their height settling. It's like, no, you're being realistic.
Yeah.
Right? You're not settling, you're being realistic. And some of you really are getting a good deal because you're coming with kids, baggage, and hella bodies. Here's another comment from another person that says, single and available grown men who's ready to commit and not with the games where you at, right? There's that comment. Another person here, a woman says, I heard every word, Kendra, ... Thank you, ... because I do need to hear this, she says. Okay. Is this accountability? I don't know. Let's keep reading. As a single mom, and I don't want to feel like I'm a shallow person, but it seems like we just gravitate or settle with the ones we have been accustomed to. Just sucks in my situation. All the nice ones that want me and I don't want them. I'm not physically or emotionally attracted to them, no matter how hard I try or give them.
Oof.
At
Ouch.
some point, and now I understand why KS used to say F love. And I've never said that. I say you need more than love. Love's not going to get you through, but he used to say F love. And now I understand. At some point, it just becomes a question of, do you want to literally die alone or do you want a partner? And you see this, the older these women get, they'll be like, well, I just want somebody to just hold my hand as I walk so that I don't fall because I'm 86. Another comment here says, men are also passing up the plain Janes, but going for the IG model, look alike or non-black, just based off things like features and hair. When will we see that both sides are failing and going after the wrong things? Men are not here trying to wife IG models, man.
Nobody is.
Men don't
really.
look at IG models and think she would make a great wife. Wow, I want to deal with that. Especially men who've dated around and actually experienced. You know a headache when you see one, and you know it's a good.
Dude, when women have IGs, it's a big turn off for me. If they have IGs and they're posting like just selfies and food all the time, I'm okay with that. But if they're posting their bodies and like skimpy dresses and stuff, it's a big no off the bat.
Time when you see one. You know wifey material when you see it. If you're a wife today, if you're a wifey material today, there's never been a better time to stand out than today, because men would recognize it and would capitalize on it. Now, there is the problem that a lot of guys out here are raised up by single mothers and can't determine the difference between a good woman and a bad one. The more reason for women to learn to cooperate and not continue that cycle. She goes on to say, I chose my man based off of character and godly standards. He's 5'8" to my 5'6", and I love it. Cool. We will weed out a lot of unqualified people if we do that. I agree with that. I do believe that Christian standards, God, and believing that you are accountable to a God helps you be more humble, sets some type of guidelines, right? I'm not here to beat people over the head with the Bible, because I don't think that's good either. But I will
I do agree. I'm not Christian or anything. I'm Buddhist, but my family is very into Buddhist. We go to temple and donate a lot of money and help build temples. And when people mesh in religion, it just works out somewhat better. When two different religions come in, or just one that doesn't have a religion, more atheist type people, they just seem to think everything's fair game. Their morals aren't there, because religion helps build some of these morals, helps build some of these guidelines to how to, act around other people, act within yourself. Like, most Buddhists don't harm that many people overall. They're not saying all Buddhists are good people, but in the Buddhist teachings, it teaches them to be very humble, be very, thankful for what they have, and to, love thy neighbor, which is very similar to, Christian teachings. All of my aunts, they don't even, none of my aunts eat beef, because it's, part of the religion. They haven't eaten beef in 20 plus years. I, on the other hand, eat a lot of beef. That's probably my majority of my protein is beef. But it's different nowadays, because the people that just don't even have a religion don't even care about why people don't eat beef, why people don't eat pork. They just see it as, oh, you're just weird, and you're a picky eater. Like, I don't even eat pork now. I have like a mesh of, Judaism and, Buddhism, because I eat beef, but I don't eat pork. So
tell you this, people who usually feel accountable to like a higher power, God, they tend to move a little bit less selfish and more strategic. They're not out here just saying, I did it because I felt like it. It's my cheeks, it's my body, I'll F who I want, I don't care, right? Another comment here says, message to black women, date outside your race. Here we go.
Again,
look into poly or stay single, do whatever makes you happy.
Jeez.
There you go. I'm all for black love, but fighting with a baby mama is exhausting. Go where you're loved, enjoy, and happy. Yeah. There's the structure of women. Do whatever makes you happy. Just whatever you want.
Yep.
Another comment here says, my thing is, why is this even a big issue? With question marks. If anything, focus on yourself until the right person comes along. Shaking my head, don't be desperate. See, this focus on yourself thing is the same thing the last woman did, who was 106 praying for a husband, right? Real video I did on my channel. I don't know if it's 106 or 108. Another comment here says, there are more women in the world than on your show. Stop lumping all women. You can't even say vast majority when there are billions of people in the world. I don't want a tall, dark, big joystick six-figure man. I don't even like men above 6 foot and below 5'5". I don't care about splitting bills. I've lived on my own without kids to know I still can't make it on one salary alone. I'm too old to be bending this way and that way, trying to have sex twice a day. Just have a joystick and I'll be happy. This woman is the literal statistic of what she's claiming doesn't exist. She
Right.
is what I described. Eventually, it will be just come in breathing,
They just never see it within themselves. They never do.
just come in, just be kind. See, this is when they're really desperate. She goes on to say that comic post was sad as F. How men perceive women. Just have a passport, get a better shirt, get better glasses, don't bring flowers. Like, what the entire hell? Wait, hold on. The dating scene truly sucks out here. Anyways.
If women actually appreciated these flowers and appreciated these things, men would do them again. But there's plenty of men that got burned hard getting flowers on first date, second date, or whatever it is. And these women are just, oh, thank you. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, you better fucking get me these flowers. That's how a lot of men feel nowadays. It's just like, you know what? That's how you feel about it? Fuck flowers then.
Another comment here from somebody else says, I took myself off the market completely. Y'all can have them. Tall, short, big, weenies, small weenies, rich, poor, have them all. Eventually, some of them end up just saying they would rather be single. The ideal man for women has been glorified via social media so much that women today would rather be alone and single than put their kids at a better advantage. They still want to raise kids. That's what's crazy. They still want to raise kids and mess those kids up, but they don't want to deal with the man because they all think they qualify for that same top percent man.
Yep.
At that point, with the people and the women who say, well, I just want to be by myself. Well, now you're playing a game of being lonely.
Yeah.
And trust and believe men know how to be lonely.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to have a tougher time experiencing that life? Right. But yeah, guys, that's it. I wish I could say that I look in the future and see a bright future for marriage. But based on what we see happening right now, I think if you're somebody who's really intentional and wants that, you can fight for it. Take the proper precautions to have a family, raise up kids, etc. I do think that marriage will become a less common thing in the future. People might say, well, at least everybody's living the life that they want, as in women are independent, single, and men are able to, maybe they might like legalize prostitution and everyone can pay for sex or whatever. But then the question is, what produced a better society? And when I say better society, I mean, are we safer now? Do women feel safer? Because they suffer the most in these type of situations.
Yep.
Are men more in control of their emotions? Or are they more out of control than ever and lack purpose? The results, to me, are what we should all look at to determine what produced the best type of society. And right now we are in a gynocentric society. Now, this matriarchy society. As always, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode.
How's that Chow? Again, R.I.P. Godfather, you know, teaching men these things before even Kendra was able to fully understand it herself. Now it's been 3 years for her and she understands it, but women aren't taking it. They don't want to hear this. They just like they didn't want to hear it from, you know, the Godfather himself. They don't care about her being a woman, her being on their side for so long, her saying it nicer. They don't care. They still want to live their life the way they do and feel like that they are, you know, in control and want to be happy in any way possible. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.